today's class is about public finance. As I have said, public finance means public refers to government here. So government finance, how government finances all the activities to run the country. So that means to finance or to meet the expenses of every fields of the country for the smooth governance, smooth running the finance or to smooth run the country. The government has to earn and government has to spend. So government earning means government's revenue and government spending means government expenditure. Therefore, public finance refers to government earning means government revenue and government expenses, government expenditure. So in this chapter we will be studying the government revenue, government expenditure, government expenditure. We have in our federal system, in our system, central government, state government, there are states, so respective state governments also earn, state governments also spend. Central government means Indian government earns, Indian government also spend. So here we have to know the government's revenue and government expenditure, which what are the sources from where the central government earns the what are the sources of central government's revenue and how the central government spends and what are the sources from where the state government earns and how the state government spends. After that, so government expenditure, government revenue we will be studying here. After that, we will be studying the public debt, public debt, public debt. You know, every year government announces the budget, state government also announces, central government also announces. So while making the budget, the proposals are actually forwarded to the public that this will be the amount of expenditure and this will be the amount of revenue. In case if revenue shorts means revenue is shorter than less than the expenditure, then there is deficit, public deficit. So deficit arises. So to meet the public deficit, to meet the government deficit, government has to go for loan. Government has to take loan from different sources, maybe internal loan, maybe external loan. So for external loan, there are different international bodies from where the government can take loan, or internally also government may raise the funds issuing or selling the bonds, ventures, etc., or in capital market. So that is public debt. Public debt is there. Government has to take loan. This loan is just to meet the gaps of the balance of payment account. That means government finance. This debt is financed. So or the deficit is financed because the deficit arises if the proposed expenditure is more than the proposed revenue. Then there will be deficit. This deficit is financed. The deficit is financed by taking loan, maybe internally or maybe externally. So the deficit, when it is financed by taking loan, then it is called the deficit finance or deficit financing. It's called deficit financing. It's called deficit financing. So deficit financing will be the topic of discussion. As I have said, this deficit is financed. How much deficit will be financed? That can be understood from budget. So budget also will be studied. Therefore, in this chapter, we will be studying those government finance. Public finance refers to government finance, which includes or which refers to government expenditure and the government revenue. So how the government will earn, how the government will spend, what are the sources from where government will earn, and how the government's expenses will be made. Then there are two governments, we know the central government and the state government. So central government or the union government earns and spends, and the state government also earns and spends. So what are the sources of central government's revenue? What are the sources of state government's revenue that we will be studying? After that, you know that while making the budget, while making the audit, there is usually there is deficit if expenditure is more than the revenue. Then deficit arises, government's deficit. The government deficit is financed by taking loan. So when it is financed, it's called the deficit financing, and how or where from it is taken, or the loan is called the public debt. Those public debt are redeemable. That has to be redeemed. That has to be repaid. That has to be repaid. So this is all about the topic, all about the subtopics of this chapter. Now, one after another, I will be discussing. First will be the government's revenue. The permanent markers.
Yes, you know. हम तो लास्ट टाइम
So government revenue. Government revenue. So let's take for central government. What are the sources from where central government earns revenue? Central government's revenue. Central government. There are main two sources where the central government earns revenue. One is tax revenue. Tax revenue. Another is non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue. Many classes, previous classes, I said always whenever we earn money, we pay tax. We pay tax. So the amount of money is deducted from our salary, from our earning. Actually, it is the direct tax or the income tax. So tax revenue, we pay this tax to the government. We pay this tax to the government. So the amount of money we pay as tax is the government's revenue. Government earns. This is government's earning. Government's earning. So that is tax revenue. Say income tax. Income tax. Income tax. So for income tax, central government earns. Second, government also earns. Government also earns from say excise duty. Excise duty. Excise duty. What is excise duty? Excise duty, the amount of tax is imposed on drugs, narcotics, or such type of product, alcoholic products like liquors, etc. So amount of tax are imposed on such type of items is called the excise duty. Say another type of tax is custom duty. Custom. What is custom duty? Custom duty actually the amount of tax imposed on exported or imported items. The custom duty. Then There are many other sources, many other types of tax. You know, the sales tax. So there are different types of tax. But nowadays, that sales tax and the tax on commodities, those have been merged, and together it is collected as the goods and services tax. Goods and services tax, which we call as GST. Goods and services tax. Here, the goods and services tax, it is a combination of the tax collected for state and the central government. Suppose the GST we are paying for a commodity is 18%. Out of 18%, 9% goes to the central government and 9% goes to the respective state government. So GST. On GST, I said in another class. Let me complete the syllabus. Then I will discuss about the GST. So those are the tax revenue government earns. Tax revenue government earns. Corporation tax government earns on profit. So besides the tax revenue, there is another type of revenue the government earns. What is that? Non-tax revenue. What are the revenue which will be considered as the non-tax revenue? The non-tax revenue, say interest receipts from for advancing loans, interest. Then fees for different purposes. Even if you want to appear in examination, government take fees for processing your application. That is fees. Then licensing fees, charges for having or getting license for anything, for your owning your business or for any other purposes also. Licensing charges or licensing fees also collected. Then earning from public enterprises, So those are the areas. Mainly, there are besides that there will be so many areas. Those are the main areas where from the central government collects or the generates income. So this is tax revenue, this is non-tax revenue. So from both the sides, both the sectors, from both the areas, central government generates its income. As central government generates, central government also spends. That I am coming afterwards in the topic of government expenditure. So those are the areas from which central government generates. So those are the sources actually, sources of government revenue. Then in case of state government, there are some other areas where from state government also earns revenue. Other areas. In case of state government also there will be tax revenue and non-tax revenue. Tax revenue and non-tax revenue. So, what are the areas where from this state government earns tax revenue and non-tax revenue? Tax revenue, GST. As I have said, GST is the combination. GST is the tax paid to the government. Not only the central government or state government specifically, it is a portion of GST, collected GST goes to the central government and another portion, 50%, goes to the state government. So GST is considered as the revenue of the central government. Similarly, GST is also considered as the tax revenue of the state government. Then some other taxes. Now the sales tax and all those have already been merged into the goods and services tax. That is why sales tax is not separately can be shown now as the tax revenue. But previously when GST concept was not there, that sales tax, VAT, value-added tax, those were all included under the tax revenue. Therefore, theoretically, when you will be knowing or you will be learning or you will be writing for the examination, you need to mention sales tax, VAT, value-added taxes, etc. But now that recently, those have already been merged in GST goods and services tax. Then there are some other non-taxable lands. We are professional tax. Professional tax. Professional tax is paid to the state government only. So this is the tax revenue of the state government. But non-tax revenue, actually, what is non-tax revenue? Non-tax government has also some sectors. The state government owned enterprises. Here, as I have said, public. Earning from public sector enterprises, or public enterprises, say like railway. Railway is owned by the central government. Now the portion of the railway is being sold to the private sector is different, but a portion is owned still by the central government. So whatever the properties or the enterprises which are owned by the central government, from where total earning is the revenue of the central government. Like this state government has also some enterprises like electricity department. So electricity departments, whatever the revenue is earned from the electricity department, that goes to the state government. Then some other fees. The state government also conducts examination and all, for which the people, the applicants, whoever pays the amount, that is the state government's revenue. So, and property tax, wealth tax. There are different types of tax which are collected by the state government. So those are the revenue of the state government. So this is about the revenue of the government. So revenue of the government means government's earning. Revenue of the government means government's earning. How the government earns, where from the government earns, means what are the sources? What are the sources of government earning or the revenue? So central government and the state government. Then after that, since government earns, government also spends. So government spending is considered as the government expenditure. So the next topic would be on government expenditure. Government expenditure. So government makes expenses for the welfare of the society, for the development purposes, for development of the country, for welfare purposes, for rural development, Those are the main areas. For which government spends. For the promotion of rapid economic development, for the to promote rural development, to promote balanced regional growth, to develop agricultural and industrial sector, to build socio-economic overheads like railways, for construction of roads and construction of school buildings, for the promotion of education, etc. Those are the areas. But why government spends? To meet the expenses, emergency purposes, to for the development of the country, for the to maintain the justice, to maintain the security. So for all those purposes, government expenses are made or government spends. So that is why government expenditure is vital or important. Government expenditure or the public expenditure is important. So to meet the public expenditure, government earns is called a government's revenue. So public finance is the topic, is the chapter which deals in government revenue and government expenditure. Now, government revenue, you have known where from the government earns, why the government earns, and also you have known on which sectors the government spends or the government expenditures are incurred, and why those expenditures are made. Those are all known, and public finance, the main contents of public finance is also are also known to you. Now the question arises. I have at the beginning of the class I said the public finance deals with government revenues and government expenditure. So government revenue and government expenditures are known to you. Besides that, I have also mentioned this public debt will be the topic of discussion. Budget will be the topic of discussion. Deficit financing will be the topic of discussion. You may ask, so why then public finance, public debt, or the deficit? Public finance is okay. Public debt and budget and the deficit financing you need to study in this chapter, because see the revenue and expenses are maintained in a two-way bookkeeping system. It's called the balance of payment account, which I shall be discussing in the next class. The balance of payment account or the BOP account, balance of payment account, which has two sides. One is receipt side, one is payment side. In receipt side, whatever the in earning that is maintained, and the payment side, whatever the payments for foreign transactions are maintained. If receipt is greater than payment, then there is surplus in the balance of payment. If payment is greater than receipt, there is deficit in the balance of payment. So in the balance of payment, deficit arises. And at the beginning of the financial year, government proposes a budget. What is budget? Budget actually, what is budget? Budget is nothing but it's a proposal. Budget is a proposal. Budget is a proposal. Proposal of making proposal of estimated income and expenditure. So budget is proposal of expenses and income. Now, in any case, so the government has to spend a huge amount of money, for which in 1 year, suppose usually in the countries like India, the developing countries, they always experiences some deficit in the budget. That means amount of spending is more than the amount of income. In that case, since amount of spending is more than the amount of income, then the government has to go for loan, go for taking loan. When the government proposes to meet proposes for loan to meet the deficit or the deficit budget, then the concept of public debt arises. Public debt arises. So that means government has to take loan from sector. That loan may be taken internally, that loan may be taken externally. How the internal loan can be taken? Raising funds. Government may sell different bonds, different types of shares. So the people those at high rate of interest. So the people, those who are having money, those who are having more purchasing power, they can buy those bonds. Once the bonds are bought by the people of the citizen of the country, automatically they pay money for that, and the money comes to the government. So it is the type of government's revenue, but it is not the government revenue that has to pay. This is internal borrowing. Government borrows money from the public, raising or raise fund, issuing different bonds, shares, etc. Internal fundraising. So this is one way of public debt. So another way, this government may borrow money from international organizations. Those international organizations, maybe IMF, International Monetary Fund, maybe World Bank, So those are the institutions where from the government can take loan which will be considered as public debt. But those public debt is redeemable, those public debt has to be paid, public has to be repaid, has to be repaid, whether it is internal borrowing or it is external borrowing. But in case of internal borrowing, the advantage is that the internally the government raise fund by selling the shares, debentures, bonds, etc. Which I said yesterday as open market operations to control the inflationary situation in the economy. So that not only controls the inflationary situation, at the same time it helps the government to raise the fund, which is the public debt. So public debt is that way how the government raise funds and to meet the expenses as per the deficit arises in the budget. So budget also you have known, and if deficit arises, how this deficit is financed is known. So whenever that deficit is financed, whether by borrowing, whether internally or externally, is called the deficit financing. Is called the deficit financing. So now you can make the relationship from yesterday's class. Yesterday or day before yesterday, when I taught you the inflation, I said when there is inflation in the economy, then dear monetary policy, monetary policies followed. Means to reduce, to curb the inflationary situation, government issues bonds by using the instrument of monetary policy is OMO. What is OMO? Open market operations. Open market operations refers to issuing bonds, selling debentures, shares, etc., through which government offer those sales, etc., at high rate of interest. So the people when they find those debentures or bonds, etc., shares are offered at high rate of interest, they will buy. Once they buy, they pay money, money comes to government, so money supply reduces in the economy, people's purchasing power reduces, so they will not be able to pay high price for the commodity, so the inflationary situation control. On the other hand, by issuing this or issuing these bond shares or selling those bond shares by the government raise funds, which is in another way is the public debt, but let's see internal borrowing, for which government also repay in the sense government is using that fund, and after that when the government purchases those people who purchase today, they will be selling afterwards. So money is paid by the government. But the most interesting part of this internal borrowing is that the internally money is circulating, flowing. Money do not outflow from our country to another country. So outflow of money is not there in case of internal borrowing. So whatever our economic deflation or economy will not be affecting that much. But in case of external borrowing, what happens? In case of external borrowing, actually once the loan is taken, suppose 5 lakhs crores of rupees has been taken loan from IMF or World Bank or some other countries. Now as an interest, 2,000 crores of rupees has to be paid. So 2,000 crores
हेलो।
अबे सर कहाँ है बे?
क्लास ओवर हो गया क्या?
नहीं पता, सर तो निकल गए कहाँ।
Hello, students.
यस सर।
यस सर।
There was a problem, so I won't be able to use the camera at this moment. So just, we have almost so I won't be able to use at this moment the camera. So without camera only, I said the continuing. We have almost reached the final part of the class. This is called concluding part. So as I have said, this public finance deals with the government's revenue and the government expenditure. Therefore, we have studied where from the government earns is called the government revenue. Then also we have studied the government expenditure, how the government spends. So those are not only the components of public finance. Besides that, you have also to learn how the government spends, what are the sources from where government earns, and at the same time how the government estimates that there is shortage. So if there are shortages, then how the government makes the expenditure. So for that you need to study the public debt. So how the public debt can be raised internally and externally. After that, you have also to study the deficit financing. If there is deficit, how the deficit can be financed. But it is always advisable, or the government or the planner always wants to borrow money internally, because if money is borrowed internally, though that has to be returned to the investors, those who buy the bonds, debentures, shares, etc. But the money is circulated within our country. So there is no economic loss. Economic loss is not there. But in case of external borrowing, since that has to be paid to the borrower, paid to the money lender in the sense maybe the international bodies like World Bank, ADB, International Asian Development Bank, or the IMF, International Monetary Finance, or some other countries. But we have to pay along with the principal. Interests have also to be paid. So the interest amount is extra payment. That money is outflown from our country to another country. So that is the economic loss. That is why always economic planners, they want to borrow, want to raise money internally. So internally there is no economic loss. So in this way only government public finance is made. So in this chapter you will be learning, or you have already learned two things. One is two main components, public revenue and public expenditure. Then you have learned the budget, deficit, budget. So you have learned the budget. After that you have learned if there is deficit, then deficit budget. Then how the deficit budget can be shown as equilibrium, means how the deficit is financed. So deficit financing, and the deficit financing is made by public debt. So public debt you have already studied. This is all about this chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.